Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Yeah, there's two piles here. So there's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, no, it's pretty. Just want to chat with the people on Zoom here. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone on Zoom. This is Mike Newmark with the PSC. We're going to be starting soon, and first be giving a brief introduction about the process and getting people all oriented in the hearing room. We have quite a number of people here, so we'll need to take care of them. But also, once we get started, we'll be taking comments from you people as well. I know that it looks like Delaney Carnes was here in the afternoon, so I just put her up as the first person to speak in the evening session from the Zoom list. And there may be one other person who joins us later who was here in the afternoon, didn't get a chance to speak. So, so just sit tight. We'll get started at 6 p.m. Thanks.
That was for the Zoom people.
Just a minute. I know, I'm not talking to you guys. Hang on. Just talking to myself here. We'll get to you. So people still coming into the room, so I can just briefly give you an intro. So I'm Mike Newmark, Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. We've had a pretty long session in the afternoon. We started at 1, we ended at like 5:15. So we may be a little punchy here. So apologize for that, but we'll try to keep it serious, professional. We'll get started at 6. As you can see, we got a bunch of different things going on here. We got some people on Zoom. We got all of you in the room. We have a list of people who came in the afternoon and didn't get a chance to speak, so they'll be coming in. So we have a number of those appearance slips, and we have the new ones. But just so you know, as you get started, if you do want to speak, you want to fill out an appearance slip. Those are in the back table, but with commission staff, and fill out the top part just with your, name and information. If you'd like to speak, you got to check that speak now box, and then hand this slip back to staff. They will come and bring it to me, and I'll know you want to speak. So you'll be in the pile with all the rest of them. But there's other ways to comment. If you'd like to write a comment, you can write it right on the slip and hand it back to staff. And if you want to make a comment online, there's the links and QR codes to the forms on our website where you can put your comment in. You can also mail your comment to us. And I don't have the address on here. I have the address with me. If you decide to mail your comment, I can give you the address. And I'll probably want to get into more details when everyone else is in the room, so I don't want to have to repeat myself and bore you even more, but we'll get started in just a bit. So yeah, so just sit tight for a second. These are from,
These I just.
yeah, so these were from the people who didn't speak. These are the people who spoke. These are the people who didn't show up, but were in the afternoon. And those are the people we didn't get to. Those spoke.
Let's see if I can have their names written down.
It will be starting soon. People just coming in. Okay.
Before you go.
Yeah.
Yes, they need, these are two,
Sorry.
these are two years.
They're gonna speak.
Yeah, we already was on there before, and we had let decided that he
Oh.
we was back. It was not to do no purpose. Patrice Greenspan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep, I got you guys. We'll put you at the top. If you already have a slip, you don't have to fill another one out.
right, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
Okay.
so are they gonna come up with you or are they coming, am I calling them up
If they wanna
separately?
come Separate,
Separately, okay, so then they're gonna need a form, their own form.
okay.
So why don't you have them fill it out and
Give it to me.
just give it to me and I'll put it with yours.
Okay.
So your name was
Patrice.
Patrice Greenberg, okay, yeah,
All of us
Okay.
right here.
yeah. Okay. So we got these guys. Okay. So, and these guys, have you done these guys? These guys were here. These guys were here. They're new to you, but they were here before. Those are brand. Brand new goes here, okay. These guys I think are new for you too then. They would go here. Okay. We have people still getting settled in the hearing, so we're gonna take another minute or two before we get started to make sure we have everyone oriented. But hopefully it won't take too much longer.
Which panel this is?
This is new.
Virtually, no. Oh, maybe that's not.
He probably wants to talk too, but. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'll put them right next to yours, and you guys be at the beginning, somewhere in the beginning, yeah. Yep, yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Do you want to, you're not going up with them, you're calling them separately? Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Okay, so these were, you these were,
So those people.
those are
had-
the brand.
No, those are the brand. These people were in. Here.
I don't mind if I have done.
Yeah, you leave it, Joe. These-
People can be coming up here to speak.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
speaker's gonna be in that chair,
Got
but
it.
if people online are gonna be talking out of here.
So don't put those things on cord, because it disrupts what I hear.
Yep, no worries. I got mine off.
Something's on a cord there. Is that yours?
There we go. That's-
Yeah, I hear that directly in my ear. That's really loud.
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No, I don't have my headphones in right.
I think we're set there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. People, well, oh, I gotta, who is that lady who runs the place? The one who needs the lady. This doesn't end.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
All right, looks like things have settled down a bit, so I'll get your attention, please. Here we go. More stuff. All right, I'm Michael Newmark, the Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. So the Public Service Commission is here. We're reviewing 2 applications from Wisconsin Electric Power Company, the utility that we regulate, the Public Service Commission regulates. And the commission needs to review these applications. One has a docket number of 6630 CE 317, and the second case 6630 CG 140. So they're 2 separate projects, but because they're closely related and they're in the same location, we're running this public hearing at the same time. So like I mentioned before, if you'd like to comment today here live, you want to fill out the appearance slip and check the yes box. Then give your slip back to commission staff at the table. They will get me your slip, and we have many slips here to go through, but we'll basically be calling the names as we get them. And when you hear your name, come up to the table, have a seat. I'll swear you in and have you give us your comment. So your comment will be transcribed by our trusty court reporter. And once it's in the transcript, the commissioners will read your, yes, sir, is there something? I'm sorry? A slip at the table in the back. Wrong table, that's okay. So it's in the transcript, the commissioners, we have 2 commissioners in attendance here today, so I want to welcome Commissioner Nato and Commissioner Hawkins. They're here to listen, and I did want to mention that because this is a contested case, the commissioners can't be talking to everyone about the case. They need to only use the information that's in the record to base this decision, so please refrain from having a personal conversation with them about the case. So when we're creating the record, part of that is your comment. And like I mentioned, you can give your comment live, or you can write your comment on the form and hand it back, or you can comment online. So those are the options you have, and all the instructions are on this form, except for our mailing address, because you can also mail us a comment. Couldn't fit it on the form, so if you do want to mail it to us, you can come up to me after the hearing. I'll give you our mailing address. So that's the basic process. The big rule is to, when you're giving your comment, speak slowly and clearly so that the court reporter can hear what you're saying, and she copies every word you say, so she's got to be able to keep up with you and be able to hear you. So the other thing is we have people joining us by Zoom. So and kind of a bunch of different computer connections here. So I'm going to be listening to you, but also I'll be distracted as well, trying to make sure everything is running at the same time. I don't mean to, it may look like I'm not paying attention, but I apologize because I will have to kind of divert my attention at times. The important thing though is that you get your comment into the record so that the commissioners read it. So just keep that in mind. Don't get distracted by me. Otherwise, I think we're pretty good. We got a big list of people to get through. I will ask everyone, I want to keep the room respectful for everyone and all their different opinions. Everyone has a right to make a comment. And I want to make sure that people feel comfortable in doing that. So like I said in the afternoon, you guys did a great job in the afternoon. No applause, no boos, no interruptions. Just want to get people's comments in and move on to the next one. So that's our basic goal here, and you'll see why when we get started. So it's great. I think we're ready to go. And let's get started with our first group of people. I'm going to read a few names at once so that people are on deck to go. They'll be ready for when it's their turn. So first we have Patrice Grainsbury, then Maria Jackson. Second. Riddich, boy, it's hard to read. Riddick, okay, you know who I'm talking about. Melanie McCurtis, I think that's our.
Yeah, that's the early.
1, 2, 3. Oh, and Don Ferber, so that'll be our first 5. And once we're done with those 5, we're gonna move to Zoom and take 5 people on Zoom and then switch back to the room. Okay. Let me get the screen set.
Yeah. There's one more from Lisa.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
What are you looking for?
Monifa, oh, there she is. Okay. Could be in the, yeah. I know we saw her before.
That might be tough with the baby there,
If I can distract you.
if she keeps going.
Okay. Sorry, you guys. Can you move her in the back? Because she's gonna get distracted trying to listen to the. I mean, the cuteness factor is like off the charts. Yeah. Okay, so let me just. And all right, I think we're good. You ready? All right, awesome. Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Perfect. Go ahead. You just want to speak into the microphone.
Hello, my name is Patrice Ransberry, Gransberry. I am strongly opposing this gas plant. It's not only going to affect me, it's going to affect my 7 grandkids who 4 of them also have asthma as I do. Excuse me. It's just been kind of bothering me a lot today because earlier when we was in here with way more people, and when I get around a lot of people, it acts up, especially when I'm outside in the air. I live in Metcalf and we run from 2700 to 38. We also go from North Avenue to Center. That whole area gets very, very hot in the summertime. So imagine when you got the heat and then you also have chemicals in the air, smoke in the air, pollen. It really, really affects me and my grandkids. We all stay inside most of the summer, which is very sad for them because they want to get out and play. But once they get out there and they start playing, they can't hardly breathe. So not only that, we have to run the air conditioner longer. That makes electric. So it's really bad for us. And it's not just us, but I fear for my community as a whole because it affects our whole community. So I'm opposing the gas company, the electric, the gas, because I know some people want to work and put money in their pocket, but then we also got to look at how the funeral people are going to put money in their pockets because it's going to start making some people die from having these asthma attacks. So please, people, stay on board with me and oppose. Thank you.
Thanks very much. All right. Trish, now we have Maria Jackson. Swear to affirm to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Have to say yes. All right, awesome. Go ahead.
Okay. First,
Go ahead, you're good.
okay. Hi, my name is Maria Jackson. I'm 13 years old. I don't like pollution because it prevents me and my siblings from having a great life, and we want to be able to breathe. We want to live in a healthy community, so I oppose, and I think I should too. Why?
All right, thank you. Ready?
Ready? Your turn. Can't read your last names. With Curtis. Okay, great.
Can't hear you guys, can't hear you.
All right. A little closer here.
Oh,
There we
thank
go.
you.
So I'm gonna swear you in first. Gotta raise your right hand. Other right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
All right, awesome. So give us your name and spell your last name for us, okay?
Okay, my name is Riddick McCurtis, and my last name is McCurtis. And my mama taught me that.
All right, awesome. All right. Give us your comment. Go ahead.
So my comment is that why the plan shouldn't happen is because kids at my age that have asthma and kids that are littler could die and their lives could be at stake. And I think that's why little kids' lives are better and the plan is not.
Right.
Drop
Right.
the mic. Sigma, Sigma boy, Sigma boy, Sigma boy.
Okay. Thanks very much. All right, so let's go offline. So see Lisa, okay, you took your hand off. Okay. All right, Lisa. So we're taking comments from people in the hearing room right now. So when it's turn to go to Zoom, we'll get to you, okay? Just gonna lower your hand. All right, so Melody McCurtis. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes,
All right.
how you doing?
I'm good.
I know you
We're
tired of
back.
seeing me.
We're back.
Hey, everybody, my name is Melody McCurtis, and I'm definitely opposing this plan. I've been coming to these for a long, long time. We are paying, not just with our pockets, but with our health. When we think about methane gas, there is no such thing as clean energy. There is a better way to spend $1.2 billion, and that's on renewable energy. We have folks that are struggling to afford their energy and their gas bills right now, and $1.2 billion could be spent on supporting folks who are struggling right now. But instead, we're here to show up and say, this is what we're experiencing. This is our lives. This is how we're being impacted right now for a coal plant that we're still paying on. And the plant that we're still paying on now, We Energies is proposing a whole new plan for methane gas. So we are in debt of a failed plan. And now they're proposing a new debt that we're going to be paying with our lives and with our pockets. So I oppose this plan. I urge everybody else to oppose this plan. And to the folks that are a part of the union that works at We Energies, you all should be pushing for green jobs and renewable energy from the inside out. Whenever you're coming here to secure your job, you should be thinking about sustainability. There won't be any jobs if everybody is gone, if everyone has passed away, if everybody didn't have money to get an inhaler and they had an asthma attack because everything is going into the air. So this really is not just a plan. It's not just about $1.2 billion. It's about humanity. And We Energies need to get on the right playing field and not prioritizing their profit over the people. It's 2025. There are so many examples of alternative ways to make a profit, but also care for your customers that you have monopolized. And they know that they have monopolized us because they're the only energy source that we have. So because they're the only energy source that we have, what is the next step going to be? For you not to have any customers? Because that's where we're headed. So we oppose this plan. I oppose this plan. And I'm calling on the PSC. You all work for the people. You are supposed to ensure the good of the people. And every year, we're either coming in here to oppose or approve rate increases. And now we're here to oppose or approve a gas plant. I want to see some votes in favor of the people. I want y'all to hear these testimonies. I want y'all to think about the experiences of these young people that can't even run in their neighborhood because the quality is already shot. Do better and vote no on this plan.
Thanks very much. Don Ferber. Welcome. Thanks for being patient. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Name and comment.
My name is Don Ferber. That's spelled Ferber. I'm here today to speak in opposition to this gas plant. We Energies is supposed to provide safe, affordable, and reliable energy. This has been discussed, but I want to go over some of the issues here. Regarding it being safe, they claim the gas is clean. That's simply not true. It is cleaner than coal, but that's like saying we're going to move from something horrible to something very bad. That's not a good choice when we know better and we have better choices. That we know that the methane still causes ozone and harmful particulate matter, resulting in significant health problems. And that with the escape of methane, you have to count the full life cycle of the use of this gas. It is just as bad for climate change as is coal. So we're not making any advances on that front. It's been talked about that the estimated health cost is up to $4.3 billion over the 30 years of this plant. That's an awful lot of money. And who's going to pay that? Not We Energies, but the people who are already paying very high energy bills are now going to be additionally burdened by these costs. Some of these, by the way, pollution tends to go eastward, will be borne by people in Michigan who have no say at this hearing. So this plant is supposed to operate supposedly for 30 years. Gas plants used to operate for a lot longer than that. And I want to mention that's not consistent with the governor's goal of 100% clean energy by 2050. Now, the utilities are saying that zero. That is not the same thing as 100% clean energy. So it's not safe. It's also not affordable. There was a chart from the National Public Utilities Council on the 2023 levelized cost of energy. And that data shows that wind and solar are the two cheapest forms of energy. Now, this is energy production. If we don't use energy, that's cheapest of all. And that gas was only competitive when you actually added storage in to the wind and solar, to those costs. But at that point, then you have distributed energy and you probably have much more reliability because you actually have backup. You don't when you're just building a gas plant. However, those costs were from 2023. We know the costs are continuing to drop for renewable energy and storage, and that wind and solar, again, with the distributed energy and backup, could potentially increase the reliability over what we have with gas. And there are many other utilities in this country that are choosing to use solar, wind, and storage because they know it's the best option and they want to be responsible. That's not what we're talking about here. And they're not doing it if it would be more expensive. On the other hand, the future costs of gas are far less uncertain. And these estimates tend to be that We Energy tend to be optimistic, not pessimistic, and are based on things basically going smoothly. Can we count on that? I don't think so. However, especially with the gas export plans that we're talking about, supply chain uncertainties, this is really a gamble. But if it goes bad, it's the customer that's assuming the risk of those added costs. And again, we're allowing the utility to externalize the costs. When you talk about the gas plant, it doesn't include health and environmental impacts. Those are ones we and the planet bear. We already know too that customers are already in We Energy's service territory are paying for a bad bet on a gas plant just 15 years ago that was projected to run a lot longer than they're talking about now. They're paying for that for the next 17 years. What are they getting? Nothing in terms of additional energy. So they're already paying for that bad bet. Now, in comparison, for instance, just down in Illinois, ComEd has energy efficiency programs that will reduce the energy demand and save customers money. But as part of reducing the energy demand, it also reduces what the utility has to provide. And that is much cheaper than adding new plants and infrastructure. But we already have a case here where customers are hurting with unaffordable bills and high energy burdens, especially many low-income neighborhoods here in Milwaukee. And you've heard many people talk about that. They're hurting already. And yet We Energies has failed to come up even with a percentage of income payment program that was asked for by the Public Service Commission that would provide something that would provide added support to the customers to reduce their energy bills. Certainly, if they would invest in energy efficiency to these customers, that would help. I mean, I didn't see any estimates. What would happen if the $1.2 billion were put into energy efficiency and allow We Energies to get a rate of return? Would that then mean maybe we don't need this capital fund at all? I don't know. I haven't seen any figures on that. Then it was talked about reliability. Well, the assumptions are made of steady supply and availability, but as we all know, severe weather events are increasing and supply issues can become more frequent. There is a Union of Concerned Scientists report readily available online from 2024 that really calls into question the reliability of these gas plants. They examined 5 major storm events in the country from 2011 through, I think it was 2022, and found that in each case, the percentage of problems was higher from gas proportionate to the amount of energy they provided. So gas plants are not more reliable necessarily, especially at least under those events. They were actually less reliable. Now, I might say those are infrequent. Well, we know they're going to become more frequent. But in addition, when they do happen, these are severe events. That's when you most need power. That's when, with emergencies, people are most hurt. You know, everybody knows about Texas, what happened down there. When things go bad, they can go really bad, and it's the low-income people who are going to be most hurt. We also know that centralized power sources are more prone to major disruptions than distributed energy sources, where you have supply coming from many different areas. So, and it's often that low-income communities, again, I said, are most susceptible to being harmed. That's been happening all along. So what we're talking about here is a bet that We Energies is placing, but it's a bad bet. And who's bearing the burden of that? Not We Energies, it's the customers. It's the people here that are bearing the bet on that. And we already know some of those things are a bad bet. We already know it's dirty. We already know it's costly. And then there are the additional things that are more uncertain in this process. We can't ask people to bear that burden anymore. It's just unreasonable. It's unfair when We Energies especially is making all these record profits. If they want to put their money into it and put the risk on them, okay, that's a different story. But they're betting with other people's lives and money. That's not right. So I ask you to reject this plan. Thank you.
Thanks very much. All right, let's switch to Zoom for the next 5 comments. And we're gonna have Delaney Carnes first. You've been waiting patiently. So if you could turn on your camera and microphone, please. Oh, you did that already, okay.
I muted already. I might be having an issue with my camera. Hopefully that's okay.
Okay. There you go. So you don't have a picture, but we'll do our best. So let me swear you in. Raise your right hand.
My right hand is raised.
All right. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Give us your name, please, and your comment.
My name is Delaney Cairns. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I am a resident physician in the internal medicine program at Aurora. Specifically, I am in a special training program to become a primary care doctor. In this role, I am first in line to see the impacts that air quality has on our patients in the greater Milwaukee community.
Hang on, I'm just gonna interrupt a sec. Is there a way to just improve your audio a little? Can you get closer to your mic, or if you're on a headset, maybe using something else?
I can certainly try. I just got a new laptop, so we are struggling through this together.
Okay, thanks.
Did you hear everything, or should I repeat it for the reporter?
I think we got what you said before.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So did you change something now, or?
I am significantly closer.
Okay, yeah, that sounds a little bit better. Okay, great. All right, just a sec. We'll be ready in just a second. Okay, go ahead, continue with your comment.
Okay. I am commenting today to oppose the proposed methane gas plant and gas pipeline. A patient I saw in clinic this month is a young father. He explained the stress and worry of his daughter being hospitalized for breathing problems and actually having to be intubated due to her difficulty breathing. He shows me the lock screen of his phone. A girl with pigtails sits on a counter holding colorful toys in both hands. Fortunately, she is out of the hospital now and home. However, she is not yet out of the woods. From what he says to me, it sounds like she has severe asthma. Her pediatrician will need to manage this condition. However, I give him some extra guidance. As her lungs are weakened, she needs to avoid inhaling pollutants as much as possible. I make sure he knows how to see the air quality in the weather app on his phone and to keep her inside when the air is bad. I advise that, due to climate change and the warming climate, there is a longer allergy season than ever before. Allergies can trigger asthma attacks. I ask if they have air conditioning. They do not. With opening windows to cool their home, there will be even more allergens and also pollutants that come in.
Hang on, we're having some trouble. Just a sec, we're having some trouble keeping, just slower.
Maybe just slower because it's
Yeah.
kind of a tad bit muffled.
Will
I
do.
asked if they have air conditioning. They do not.
Thank you. With
Thank you.
opening windows to cool their home, there will be more allergens and also pollutants that come in through the window. I explain the ratings of furnace filters and how to buy one rated at least a 9 and bungee cord this to a box fan that is placed in the room where his daughter is. At least some allergens and pollutants will be trapped in this manner. The new gas plant that We Energies is proposing deeply concerns me. Southeastern Wisconsin already has high levels of ozone, which is bad for everyone's health. This gas plant will release pollutants that will trigger inflammation in the respiratory tract. As a doctor, I see numerous patients with asthma and COPD and treat far, far too many patients in the hospital for these conditions. Even if you or your loved ones aren't impacted by diagnosed breathing conditions, pollutants impact you too. In anatomy lab, my first year of medical school, here at the Medical College of Wisconsin in Milwaukee, I remember dissecting lungs that had a thin black coating on the outside of them. Our professor said that even though the patient did not have a smoking history, that this is what lungs look like when someone's lived in a city their whole life. Just think about that black carbon film and the pollutants that are then carried in the blood to the brain and reproductive organs. No one wants that for their loved ones. To conclude, I urge We Energies to invest these dollars into a renewable form of energy. I grew up in Green Bay, and I would encourage We Energies to look at something like the Onion River Solar Farm in Sheboygan. I read that We Energies currently gets less than 3% of its total energy from renewable sources. Just like I counsel and encourage my patients, just because you're not perfect today doesn't mean that you should try, give up, and not try. Take the money that would be spent on the methane plant, invest in renewable energies like wind or solar, and increase that percentage to 5 or maybe even 10% of the total power produced by We Energies. Thank you for the opportunity to comment.
Hey, thank you, Delaney. Let's go off the record. I just wanted to check in. There's a number of people on Zoom with their hands up. Are you having some sort of issue or what's going on? Let's just hear from Lisa.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can. Why did you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. Okay,
Yeah,
want me to let it down, put it down?
Well, is there a problem? Are you trying to tell me something? I guess I'm just trying to find out.
I have a question. I want to add a comment onto the, what's going on here. So is it my turn to speak or?
It's not your turn yet. So I'm just gonna lower your hand and we can take you when it's your turn. Okay. Just wasn't sure if people weren't hearing something or let's take Joe Dubianich next.
Terrible pronunciation. My name is Joe Dubanowitz.
Okay.
Accent on the second syllable. Okay.
All right, so we'll need to get, so I'm not seeing you here. Let me make sure I can, there you go. Spotlight you. And we can, yep, I gotcha. So I think we're good to go. Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, so give us your name and comment.
Joe Dubanowitz. I live in Summers, Kenosha County. I'm associated with the Sierra Club, Southeast Wisconsin Gateway Group. I'm also involved with the Natural Resources Committee and the Climate Change Action Group of the League of Women Voters of Milwaukee County.
All right.
Also,
So
350 Milwaukee. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Also 350 Milwaukee and Citizens Climate Lobby and Wisconsin Electric Vehicle Association.
All right. So now let me interrupt for a second. So you mentioned Sierra Club, they're a party to one of the cases. Are you just speaking on your own individual behalf?
Yes, I'm just a volunteer.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. Thanks. Go ahead with your comment.
Okay. Yeah, much of the comments here today concentrate on the terrible health results of burning methane and coal to generate electricity. Echoing some of the points that Louise Petering and Don Ferber mentioned, I propose a solution to the We Energies problem of providing electricity to all of its customers in the same way that I have provided electricity to my household. Build solar farms with battery storage in every community in your domain. I did that with a few years ago when I installed rooftop solar on my home, and I send the excess of my energy generation to We Energies. By the way, I don't buy gasoline either or oil since I drive an electric vehicle, which I charge with the sun, just like my heating and cooling. I have an all-electric home generator for heating and cooling with my heat pump, and thanks to federal rebates that through the Inflation Reduction Act and the bipartisan infrastructure law, I have but through those programs, I have a great deal of insulation and weather stripping, and my utility bills average in the tens of dollars per month for a 2,000 square foot home. So I encourage all We Energies customers to enroll in the IRA rebates program, where the rebates up to 100% are based on your family income. And the poorer you are, the more money you get. You can have 100% of your retrofitting your home with insulation and even solar panels. So all in all, I'm opposed to this methane gas plant in Oak Creek. And I hope that people could consider joining up with Focus Energy, which is the non-for-profit organization that manages these rebates, and also with Citizens Utility Board, which is another non-for-profit that encourages this kind of action. The organization that I worked with to get my rebates was Green Homeowners United, and they can be reached on the website with the Focus on Energy people who have trade allies that can encourage this kind of action. Thank you very much for your holding these hearings, and again, I am opposed to this methane gas plant in Mill Creek.
Well, thanks for your comment.
Sure.
Move on to Amaya V. Would you like to comment? Just need to unmute and turn on your screen. Amaya. Saying that right? Amaya.
Hi, good evening. I will be passing on delivering a comment this evening. Thank you.
And next up is Brenda. You just unmute, we'll get your full name. Okay, see you there. And I can unmute you, maybe. Let me try it. Here we go. No? A little difficulty unmuting you. I don't know if there's something on your end you can try. What I'm gonna do is just skip you and go to Brian and see if you can maybe fix that, whatever's going on with you. But we'll get back to you. How about Brian? Would you like to comment?
Brian Rogers.
It doesn't have a last name. Brian, can you unmute? Let me know. Okay, we'll move on to Brittany Keys. See, you're on the screen here.
Yes, hello. I do. I would love
Yes.
to comment.
Yes, I know you. I'm sure you will. Let me spotlight you here, and we can get you going here. Okay. Excellent. So let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Name and comment, please.
So my name is Brittany Keys, Keyes. I am from Beloit, Wisconsin, and I want to thank the Public Service Commissioners for attending this meeting. It's greatly appreciated that you are there in attendance on such a consequential case, as well as to the staff that is organizing and running this. I am speaking as an individual. I and a very concerned parent. And I also serve as the NAACP Climate Justice Chair for the Wisconsin State Conference. First thing I want to highlight is that there was I listened to the first session. There was a large consensus over support of clean energy. But there was not consensus on when. And I want to say that right now is absolutely when we need it. And going to highlight why. And also emphasizing that I will be speaking to the LNG, so the storage gas facility, the gas plants. And I also want to highlight that on site of the Oak Creek Generation Station and that site, there's also the Elm Road coal plant, which We Energies continues to tout as one of the cleanest coal plants amongst in the country. But clean coal is a fallacy, as is natural gas being safe. And so Elm Road was approved just in 2010. And as folks have already mentioned, it will become a stranded asset. It has been promised that both of these coal plants will close. So all of the residents in Southeast Wisconsin have been guaranteed these coal plants will be closing. And these projects should be compared to the absence of coal plants. And being that clean energy is affordable and accessible and healthier, really, when we're looking at these projects, we should be comparing them to a clean energy or zero emission alternative. And highlighting that Elm Road conversion is not coming before the PSC or has not, and it does not look like it will. And it is actually going to be on the DNR air permit combined with South Oak Creek for turbines 1 and 2, which together equal 1,268 megawatts of power to run at full capacity. So I really want to emphasize that when we're looking at this all of the above portfolio, we should all be appreciating that We Energies is going to be operating an over likely 1,200 megawatt gas plant already on site in Oak Creek. And the public really hasn't had an opportunity to weigh in, except for the operational DNR permit that I think the public comment is now. it has also been emphasized that the all of the above energy portfolio, well, We Energies, as others have said, has less than 3% wind and solar on board. So if we're really looking at pushing our utilities to have a diverse energy portfolio, we need to be pushing them to invest in wind or solar. As of now, 28% is coal, 37% is gas. That means 65% of their portfolio is fossil fuels. If we need them to diversify, and we need them to invest in clean energy. If we take a little bit of a step back and look at Wisconsin as a whole, Wisconsin is behind the entire Midwest when it comes to clean energy production. Other states are doing this. Other states, all of our neighbors are doing this, and we can too. And we're almost amongst the last in the country with clean energy. And if you look at the U.S. Energy Information Administration, in 2021, Wisconsin was dependent on importing 78% of their fossil fuels, was dependent on fossil fuels for 78% of its in-state energy generation, and we had to import all of it. In the latest data is from 2023. How much progress have we made in 2 years? We are now only 75% dependent on burning fossil fuels. We've made a 3% increase. So as a whole, the state of Wisconsin, the people of Wisconsin deserve our utilities to fully invest and push into clean energy production. And one of the prior speakers, when they're talking about when they were in med school and the lungs of the people who had lived in a polluted city, I was almost in tears there. I live in one of the most polluted small cities in the US. And why is that? Because we live adjacent, within 5 miles of a methane gas plant, Alliance 1,200 plus megawatt methane gas plant. And we live in the fallout of that. And we have the poor public health metrics and high asthma rates and in our school districts. Like, these are our children. So when we're talking about consensus clean energy, yes. When do we need to do this? Now. Because when it's already built, it's really tough to get rid of it. We need to prevent the building of additional new fossil fuel infrastructure. It is 2025. We have California wildfires in January. These things aren't supposed to happen. We need everyone to act for our future and for our health now. And I'd like to just say thank you for the opportunity for this comment.
Yeah, thanks very much. We're gonna move on. We're gonna try Brenda one more time, or until we get you in there. So let's try, you got unmuted. Perfect. Let's spotlight you.
I don't really have any comments. I'm just here to listen to the information, educate
Okay.
myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm glad we figured that out. So let me just make an announcement for people on Zoom. We can go off the record, give you a break. So the way we kind of set this up, and you've seen the notice of hearing, if you are just here to observe on Zoom, I'd like to recommend that you do that using our live stream on YouTube and not join us on the Zoom, just because the list is long and it gets confusing as to who wants to comment or not. So people want to comment, stay on, feel free to stay on, but if you only want to observe, I just ask you please to move over to the live stream. So you just go to our website. If you just Google YouTube Public Service Commission, you're going to see our YouTube channel for hearings. And that's where you want to be to just observe our hearing today. Okay, so I'm going to turn your video off. And Brian was a no as far as I could tell. And we'll move down the list to Sherigale Buchanan. I see you here. I think your screen is on, so I should be able to see you.
Yes.
Yes, okay, your name's hidden here. I've got to adjust something. All right, there we go. Let me put you up on the screen. All right, I'll swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, great. Go ahead. Give us your name and comment, please.
Well, good evening, and my name is Cherry Gail Buchanan, and thank you for this opportunity to share my perspective. I am a retired math teacher and professor of math education, and I have 26 years of experience as an educator, and I've lived in Oak Creek for 19 years. I'm here today to strongly oppose We Energy's proposal to build a plant in our area. This project would have detrimental effects on our environment, our health, and most importantly, our children's ability to learn and thrive. I'm particularly concerned about the potential impact on cognitive development, as studies have shown that air pollution significantly impairs brain function, especially in young learners. Research published by the American Psychological Association indicates that air pollution contributes to deficits in memory, learning, and IQ, particularly in children who are in critical stages of brain development. Furthermore, the Environmental Protection Agency has documented that exposure to pollutants like particulate matter and nitrogen oxides can hinder children's cognitive abilities, which could lead to long-term academic and life challenges. Statewide data shows that math proficiency rates in Wisconsin remain below optimal levels, with only 49.4% of students meeting proficiency. In our district, although improvements have been made, our math performances still fluctuate and face setbacks. Now, if this plant is built, we risk worsening these academic outcomes, particularly for students already struggling with learning gaps. Exposure to increased pollution could further hinder cognitive function, affecting our students' ability to perform in key subjects like math. In turn, this would place a greater strain on our education system and resources that should be dedicated to helping students succeed. So I urge the board to consider the long-term implications of this proposal. We must prioritize the health, well-being, and future of our children, ensuring they have the opportunity to learn and to grow and thrive in an environment that's free from the detrimental effects of pollution. I respectfully ask you to oppose this project and protect the future of Oak Creek. And again, I thank you for your time and the opportunity to share my perspective.
Thank you very much. So we're going to take one more person on Zoom. In the meantime, just to let you know who's up in the room. Manifa Johnson, Shirley Schmidt, Marion Ottman, Jack Niemer, and Carol Grundy. So you guys will be up and on deck after this next comment. So let's take Donna Bretonja next. Bretonia. And we're going to get back to whoever AB is. I saw you just joined us, so I'm going to have you wait. We'll get Donna in now. So I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. Give us your name and comment.
My name is Donna Britannia, and I live in Franklin. My daughter's family, including her 3- and 4-year-old children, and her husband with asthma, live in Oak Creek in the vicinity of the current coal plant. It was our understanding that it was going to be shut down, and I understand that it will be sometime soon, but now we learn of the plan for a methane gas plant to be built at the same area. And while that's a little bit better than the pollution that's generated from coal, it's still a major pollution source and a risk to health. So I oppose this project, and I encourage We Energies to create a clean energy alternative to the fossil fuels. which are not only a risk to human health, but also pose a threat to our planet.
Thanks for your comment. So we'll move on to Montefiore Johnson. Bigger here. All right, excellent. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, go ahead with your comment.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Montefiore Johnson, and I'm a mother of 3 children. And I'm in the Metcalf Park neighborhood in Milwaukee. That's 15 miles away. This gas plant would impact me and my family, because me as a re-energy customer, I'm still paying into the last previous coal plant that is affecting my fixed income. I will never be able to catch up. This needs to end now, like right now. I ask that you all back up the peoples and block this plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, all these people were from the first session, so yeah, yeah. All right, Shirley Schmid. I'm saying that right? SHMID. No. Okay. How about Marion Ottman?
She might get on virtual, she's here.
Okay. And Jack, the namer is Nehmemer. How about Carol Grundy? Grundy. Grundy. So a lot of these were from the first session we didn't get to, so I'm not too surprised. But Mitchell Lodersov. Excellent. Hey, I'm glad. Get this far. Okay, so I'm gonna swear you in, raise your right hand, you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, state your name correctly and give us your comment.
I'm Mitchell Lauersdorf, and first I'd like to say I want to thank the men and women who have fought and died for us all to be here today. Without them, there would be no committee for us to talk at. I want to start by saying I know not everyone here was here during the first session, but from the earlier session, what I got is that no one was disagreeing that this energy plant would be without risk or health consequences. And the simple fact that we can all agree that this is a danger to our health means that we are putting dollar signs on people's lives and people's health. And we all are in agreement. And I have not heard a single person say this plant would not adversely affect our health. Since there's no one in disagreement, what we are doing right now is putting a dollar sign. And I want to point to the past. I want to talk about how lead and mercury were once also thought to be this safe alternative, this safe thing, right? And it damaged an entire generation, and whole generation lost. Do you know how much studies are coming out now saying that our parents, our grandparents are damaged forever, that their anger problems are because of the lead? Is We Energies prepared for the cost of a possible lawsuit to pay for any medical bills that they may ever be found liable for? And is the city got the funds to pay for any lawsuits that arise in the future? Because when you approve of this city is saying, yes, I am putting my name down and saying that this is safe. And if it ends up not being safe, you are gonna be held liable, not just by the people, but by history books. I've heard people talking about the present problems that this plant might solve. I want to remind everyone that without considering our successors, our children,
what point is there in putting Band-Aids on the present that the next guy will have to fix? I don't know about everyone else here, but I am willing to sacrifice now so that those that come next don't have to. Because I was taught growing up that we leave things better than how we found it. Those were the values that I was taught were American values. American values are the next generation must have it better. I'd much rather be remembered for being the change than adding to the problem. And even if that means sacrificing something today, I am today willing to sell my car. But first, we need to put money towards our public transportation. I am ready to sacrifice. Is anyone else? I've heard a lot of talk from the earlier session about jobs. Is there even a benefit to the people here? Does the city have research confirming that the methane plant would actually benefit us and provide new jobs and energy that wouldn't be better spent increasing local residents' quality of life? Through better public education and providing other community resources, like providing assistance to locals making their own businesses, going as far as tax deductions for people making their own solar energy installations, as an example. So that the union employees concerned with their jobs can become their own boss. Because that is also something I was taught was an American value, that you don't work your whole life, that you become the owner. This country was only great when workers united against the rich and CEOs as a community, and not with the rich against the health of their communities. Even though I cannot fault people for caring for their families, they are ignoring the health aspect towards their own kids and neighbors. Your union may provide solid health insurance, but how many people do not have that privilege? Are you here for you, or are you here for our people and our country? And this might sound radical, and I'm not saying this is an immediate answer, and I know President Trump has made it a bad word, but there is confirmation in China that we have safe nuclear power. How are we not talking about that? That should be the thing that we are looking towards. I know Chernobyl happened, but that happened in Russia. I thought we were better. I have faith in our workers that we are we're just better workers here. I believe in us. I believe that we can do better. I want to ask if people will have alternate affordable energy choices, or if this is going to end up monopolizing the energy market locally, especially to lower income people who cannot currently afford or access clean energy or alternative sources. Green energies can hide behind their name, but their parent company is objectively currently a monopoly here in Wisconsin. With such high discussed at corporate monopolies such as Amazon, the last thing we need is to strengthen another. Finally, I want to add that I'm going to start attempting to unionize the Amazon DSP in Madison. And if the union workers who were here earlier do believe in unions, I expect to see them there helping me, because I expect to face severe consequences for what I'm about to do. I am likely to lose my job. I say oppose this plant. Most of the arguments I've heard today are about supporting this plant or about jobs. Sadly, this is not the Public Safety Committee. This is the Public Safety Committee and not the Public Union Jobs Committee. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. We're going to continue on with Jonathan Jackson, Ted Craig. No, Carnell Huggins. Nobody. All right. These are all from the afternoon, so we're just going to go through this list here. Ramona Curry. No. This one was hard to read. I think it's Benjamin Harman from Urban Community One Stop Consulting. Can't really read the rest. Okay, well, you know who you are if you wrote this. Blaine Carnes, we got Marco Marquez.
Excuse me.
Yes, who's that?
Did you call Marion Altman?
Did I? Okay. On from the list, and you're on Zoom now instead? Okay. We'll put a pin in that, and I just want to get through, the list we have here. Where are you? Marion?
She came to the first session, you can just call her.
Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, so we'll take you, put you on the list here. Yeah. This was a while ago. All right, well, I don't know where you are. That's okay. We know you're here, so that's good. Mitch, we got already. Richard Gustin. Kathleen Erdman. Tim Corden. Yvonne Bieski. Probably Besyk. Ann O'Connor. No, yeah, these are from earlier. It's just some people are coming back, some people aren't. Okay, so let's get Marie Ottman. Who's Ottman? Where are you? Let's see.
Maybe they're online with a different.
Just give me, yeah, just say something, Marion.
Marion Ottman.
There you are. Okay, great. Got you. All right, so can you take your background, please?
So what's my background?
So you got that beautiful, that doesn't sound too good.
I don't even know how it got there.
You don't have, okay, forget it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then forget it. Don't take anything off. That's all. Don't take, oh, there we go. Okay, you got it.
Okay.
I've had problems with that on Zoom before too. You don't take anything off. All right, so got you there. Awesome. So let's swear you in. Raise your right hand. Can't see that. Okay, there you go. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Nothing but the truth.
Excellent. So spell your name and give us your comment, please.
My name is Marion, Marion Ottman, AU. T is in Tom, MAN.
Perfect. Thank you.
I am here tonight to oppose against the gas plant. For the reasons being is because of health. My husband just recently had to go to the hospital because he wasn't able to breathe. He didn't have COVID. It was actually his breathing. He had 2 blood clots, and it wasn't nothing that he was doing. It was just the quality of the air. Every time he goes outside, he's sick. I have plenty of children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and a load of friends. Why is it that they require cars to take emission tests, and then you go build a plant that you know is not going to be good for the air? We're already struggling. Why can't we take this money and put it in our children's education, their future? If we need money, why can't we build tolls and charge people to come to our beautiful city as we do theirs? Maybe what I'm saying doesn't make any difference, doesn't make any sense. But I'm 63 years old. And we did without it then. Why do we have to get it now? Why can't we do something that's going to benefit our children and their future? And I'm quite sure the people that were there, I know you probably have ancestors, aunties, uncles that's got breathing problems. The people that were from engineer, whatever it was, Yes, we don't belong in Oak Creek. We don't live there. We live in Milwaukee, but we were willing to drive here for the Oak Creek people that cannot speak for themselves or who wasn't there. With that, I rest my case.
All right, well, thanks for your comment.
Here.
All right, so she was actually an in-room person because so we're gonna move back to the people in the room for a minute. Can't unspotlight you, I don't know why. Oh, I know. I'm gonna take your camera off.
I'm trying.
There we go, gotcha. All right, so we have Greg Millard in the room. This is the fresh pile, so you guys should be here. Greg Millard. Okay, and I'm just gonna read off a couple more names. Candace Oli and when you got me with this one. Well, last name is Rapp, R-A-P-P. Joelle. Okay, I couldn't see that letter. Oh, we'll do. Oh. Okay. Hang on. Stay calm. That's right. Okay. All right, so we're gonna. Phone. All right, so Greg, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we got 3 for in the room. I'm gonna swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Name and comment.
Greg Millard, M-I-L-L-A-R-D.
Okay.
I live in the closest subdivision to the power plant. We were opposed to put the plant in when it started. We were opposed to it when we got coal on our property. A lot of neighbors complained. We introduced, had to pay somebody to power wash 68 of our houses because we had coal all over our house, our drive, our car. We got free car wash tickets to wash our car. Everything was black. I worked with the Sierra Club. I was a poster child then that my hand was black on the slide at Haas Park. That was me. I'm opposed to it. I want this natural gas plant in because I'm tired of getting coal on my property. It's been less now, and everybody's complaining about their health. What are they burning now? They're burning coal. Natural gas isn't much better, but it's a whole lot better than having your yard black all the time. Your car, everything, get tired of it. We Energies has a big hill south of Elm Road and Haas Park. Put wind up there. Put wind generators up there. They're like 400 feet off the ground. They're gonna take a whole lot more wind than anything else like Oshkosh. I would suggest to do that and solar. I want natural gas. If you like coal, my property's for sale. It's right next to the plant. Talk to the mayor. The mayor don't like me. The city administrator don't like me because I opposed the plant all this time. Now we're finally getting rid of the coal, want to get rid of it. And you people oppose it. Coal's caused all your problems up till now. Let it go. Go natural gas, and hopefully We Energies can put wind powered generators on that hill up there. It's a massive hill. It took them a year to build it. We live right there. We had to put up with a year of mine dump trucks dumping the dirt. Let them put it up there. That's my opinion.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Candace? Hi. Your right hand, do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do swear that.
All right, go ahead. Give us your name and comment.
My name is Candace Owley, and that would be O-W-L-E-Y. I want to, of course, thank first the commissioners for being willing to be here with us all day. We really appreciate it. I have to say that I told people what I was coming to do, and almost nobody knows who the PSC is. They don't know what a docket is. It's very confusing for the public to understand how to communicate, and the more you can do to help the general public understand, the better. So coming in person is really, really appreciated and by all of us, of course, that have come out tonight. So I'm a retired registered nurse. I was the head nurse of a kidney transplant unit. I live on the south side of Milwaukee, right near Lake Michigan. I am also the retired president of a nurses union. So I'm here tonight to urge the commission to deny the permit for the Oak Creek gas plant. I'd hope that we could keep taking a closer look, as you've heard, of the health impacts of these plants and really move more rapidly to alternative, clean and renewable energy. You've heard, and it's well known in the community, that methane gas increases the incidence of respiratory diseases and kidney diseases. In addition, it impacts the development of children. The neurodevelopment disorders are increased when you're with methane gas. And the fossil fuel power plants have been directly linked to, of course, as we've heard, higher rates of asthma. And to me, also especially frightening, linked to more negative outcomes for fetus and infant health. I say this because in addition to being a retired registered nurse, I'm also a mother and a grandmother. And I'm very fortunate because I have never had asthma and I don't really have allergies. But as it turns out, now my daughter has asthma, my granddaughter has asthma, they have to carry inhalers. I have another granddaughter that's been diagnosed with neurodivergent disorder called Asperger's, and another one with ADHD and dyslexia. Now, my son, after 10 years, is finally about to have his first child, and he is installing filters into the inline filters into his water system to protect his pregnant partner and their soon-to-be child from the lead and forever chemicals that are in our community. But unfortunately, there is really little he can do about the air that they breathe, both his partner and his baby that will be here hopefully pretty soon. As a health professional, I have an ethical and moral obligation to take action if I know there's a threat to the health of my patients and my community. But as a grandmother, I have an even greater obligation to protect not only my existing grandchildren, but of course my soon-to-be born new grandchild. This gas plant will make people sick, especially the children in nearby communities. We are already living in a non-attainment zone, and we know that we are already breaking the federal limits for ozone. So I urge the PSC to deny this gas plant and instead invest in reliable, have We Energy invest in reliable, cheaper, safer, and healthier options. I ask that you insist that the use of energy efficiency and renewable resources be used to meet our community needs. As it's been said, you are the Public Service Commission, which I understand has as its mission to serve us, the public. So in closing, I'd ask that you put the public in our community and our health first and to deny the approval of this gas plant. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Joelle Wren. For this comment, we'll switch to Zoom for a few more. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Name and comment.
Hello, my name is Joelle Rapp. I am a resident of Racine, and I oppose these applications for the sake of our public health, community, and state. Wisconsin needs to take firmer action against climate change and the oil industry. Burning fossil fuels, including natural gas, dumps sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and CO2 into the air, which also results in increased surface ozone and particulate matter. This has a direct impact on our community health, as many people have already commented tonight. In fact, one of my friends, only a few years older than me, was taken to the emergency room on Sunday night. This was the third hospital visit within the past year for respiratory issues and infections. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, sorry.
The area the current coal plant is positioned in is 11 miles from my home and 8.4 miles from my friend's home. It is 3 miles from Cliffside Park Campgrounds, which is a lovely county park for us to enjoy the outdoors and views of Lake Michigan. It is 2.2 miles from Haas Neighborhood Park, which has a playground and a pavilion for picnics. Due to the impact of pollution on developing brains, it is also setting our children and schools on a path where they have to play catch up with the rest of the Midwest. The National Institute of Health found an association between ambient air pollution in a school district and that district's performance in math, English, and language arts. On top of all that, the conversion from natural gas to electricity is inefficient, since so much energy is let off as waste heat. Solar and wind are a more efficient source of power. Wisconsin does not have any natural gas reserves of our own, but we are currently using it for 43% of our power. This makes us reliant on other parts of the nation and Canada to meet our energy needs. With natural gas, our electric bills will be subjected to a volatile market with supply chain bottlenecks and price hikes, but it doesn't have to be. Our energy needs can be supplied by renewables. Iowa already generates 59% of its power from wind turbines. I believe Wisconsin can do better. This plant proposal may be a step up from the current coal plant, but why should we settle for that when there are healthier, cheaper options available that could meet the same energy needs? This is a great opportunity to build up Wisconsin's lagging renewables and energy storage. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, Wisconsin has the smallest share of renewable energy when compared to any neighboring state, including Michigan. 75% of our current energy production comes from coal or natural gas. WEC has expressed interest in diversifying, but since almost 2/3 of their current portfolio is natural gas and coal, a move towards diversifying would look like an investment in solar, wind, or energy storage projects. This proposal is too much money for so little improvement in our quality of life. This community is ready for change. Oak Creek itself is right now in the Common Council chambers, taking steps to approve solar panels for a local storage facility. This community will not benefit as much from the current proposal as an alternative that makes our energy system more robust, healthy, and sustainable. In fact, this proposal will actively harm the citizens of both Milwaukee and Racine counties, two of the most populous in the state, and in doing so, cripple Wisconsin's future. I humbly ask that you oppose these applications with me and push WEC to make better use of $1.2 billion. Thank you.
Turning our attention to Zoom. We have next up, looks like Fran Hoffman. Did you want to make a comment, Fran?
Yes, thank you.
See if we can get your camera on. Great.
Got it.
Oh, wait. It's I saw you there. Okay, perfect. All right, excellent. Great. So I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So it's Hoffman, Hoffman. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, great. So go ahead with your comment.
My name is Sister Fran Huffman. I'm a member of the Racine Dominican Sisters and part of their climate committee. I'm here to oppose the We Energy's gas plant. These plans for a gas build-out completely belie the We Energy Group's goal of an 80% reduction in carbon emission by 2030 and achieving carbon neutral status by 2050. They admit that the natural gas plants will be in operation for the next 30 years. This illustrates how the biggest oil and gas corporations say one thing for our consumption, but may do something different to protect profit. Is this gas green? Oil companies try to position natural gas as a clean, climate-friendly fuel while internally acknowledging that there is significant scientific evidence that emissions from gas are as bad as coal and will not accomplish emissions reduction targets. Is this gas harmful? We've already heard from a number of other speakers that it is. It harms human health. Methane gas contributes to increased cardiovascular and respiratory diseases, cancer, kidney disease, and developmental disorders. Toxic air contributes to low birth weight, miscarriages, and infant mortality. It can lead to cognitive impairment and lower academic performance. It can lead to cognitive, I said that, excuse me. Premature, what is the human cost? Premature deaths from burning natural gas have already surpassed deaths from coal in 19 states. There's another harm that has been talked about when minority, low-income, and indigenous populations often bear the burden of environmental harms in both health and also in rate costs. Fossil fuel infrastructure is expensive. We Energies was ordered to develop a program to assist energy burden customers with their payments, but they have failed to do so before asking for another rate increase. The fact is that racial disparities in energy burden BIPOC neighborhoods in Milwaukee remain among the highest in the nation. What happens if someone cannot pay? We Energies has the highest percentage of customers who have had their energy shut off. And this is the highest of any utility in Wisconsin. We Energies continues to recommend costly fossil fuel projects as it promotes gas as a natural clean energy source. Saying one thing and doing something different is wrong. Natural gas combustion is harmful. Hurting people economically is not fair. Investing in gas is investing in all these harms. I urge no gas. We need renewable energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So next up is Grace Quinn. Did you wish to comment? See you there. Okay.
Yep, I'm ready to comment.
Okay, great. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, give us your name and comment.
Yeah, hi. My name is Grace Quinn, spelled GraceQuinn, and I'm a sustainability professional and a climate activist. And I would like to speak directly to the Public Service Commission. So I'm speaking directly to you that companies like We Energies stand to make a profit on projects like this in the next 5, 10, 15 years. But your decision on this project has the potential to force Oak Creek and all Wisconsinites to pay the price for decades to come. If you approve this project, you will be forcing Wisconsinites to pay higher energy prices by knowingly excluding the cheapest form of energy from this plan, wind and solar. Natural gas is a costly, finite resource that the Wisconsin people do not want to pay for. If you approve this project, you will be putting Wisconsinites' health at risk by knowingly exposing families to increased particulate matter. Studies show a direct correlation between the proximity to fossil fuel infrastructure and higher rates of asthma and other health issues. If you approve this project, you will be sacrificing Wisconsinites' children's future. Living near fossil fuel resources has been linked to increased risks of developmental delays in children, which can have a lifelong impacts on a child's adult life. Lastly, if you approve this project, you will be committing Wisconsin to decades of complacency, complacent in exasperating global warming and exasperating the impacts of climate change globally. Wisconsinites deserve better than what We Energies is offering us. Wisconsinites deserve clean energy that promotes and promises a healthy and economically viable and vibrant future. The Public Service Commission. I ask that as proud Wisconsinites yourself, you choose to fight for all Wisconsinites by firmly rejecting We Energy's current plan to expand fossil fuels in Wisconsin and request that We Energies explore clean energy options. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. Okay, great. Jana Cook, did you want to comment? Jana, you're on Zoom? No, just dropped off. No, there you are.
I'll pass to another speaker.
Okay, thanks. And Jenna Sharkus, did you want to comment?
Yes, please. Hi, my name is Jenna Sharkus.
Just a sec. Hang on, let me get you set up.
Oh, sure.
There we go. All right, yes. Raise your right hand.
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Give us your name and comment.
Sure. My name is Jenna Sharkus, Sharkus, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. I live in Grafton, Wisconsin, just north of Milwaukee, and I'm strongly asking for the Public Service Commission to reject We Energy's proposal to build the gas plant and call on We Energies to expand into renewable energies today for the sake of the environment, public health, and local economies. For our community's sake, renewable energy solutions like wind and solar, as spoken on before, are an opportunity to relieve the public reliance on energy companies like We Energies, who are profiting off of our reliance and emitting pollutants into our air and harming us all. For the sake of our environment, we need to transition away from fossil fuels to mitigate the impacts of climate change and health concerns listed here today by previous speakers. I call on We Energies to reflect on their own public commitments that they've made to transitioning away from fossil fuel emitting options and look to clean energies. With that, I urge the committee to please deny We Energies' request, as we, as the state of Wisconsin, need an affordable, reliable, and fossil fuel-free Wisconsin. Please protect the community from harmful and expensive energy production with your denial of this project. Thank you.
Thanks very much. So we'll turn to Lisa Dixon. You're up next. Do you want to comment?
Yes. Hello.
Can you put on your screen?
Okay, let's see here. I'll try.
I'm gonna send a message to you to asking you, see if that helps.
Okay.
All right, great.
Okay.
So let me, let's see. All right, well, why don't you go ahead? Yes,
Okay.
you're all set.
Okay.
I got you. I'm just gonna swear you in. So do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, great. Go ahead.
Okay, I am a kidney failure patient, amputee of my left leg. This is not due to gas or anything, hazardous, whatever, but this is due to COVID. Unfortunately, I'm disabled now, but I'll be okay. Had 17 surgeries within the past 3 years, and I'm still alive and still here. But looking and listening to the comments and people making their comments, We Energy has already made their mind up. This, We Energy is a big corporation. If they got $1.2 billion to make this happen, we all coming together, whether whether we're not happy about it, it's just something that they got to do to be, that they have to do in order. Whether they're listening and hearing us, no, they're not. This is billions of dollars we're talking about. And not only that, they're going to make billions more. So, like I said, they have to follow order. And tomorrow is going to be another business day for them. And they're going to, make their decision. I'm curious on where this plant is going to be exactly. I live in the 53206 area, zip code. So I'm curious on where this plant is going to be. Um, I moved away for 23 years, and it's amazing how I lived in Minnesota, and years ago they had solar panels in Minnesota years ago. And for Wisconsin not to be updated, Wisconsin is always, they're 15 years behind. So that doesn't amaze me. But We Energy can do better and install solar, get them. Solar panels are expensive. I called years ago because about 3 or 4 years ago to put solar panels on my home. They said We Energy does not have a program, and which was shocking, and that to just do my house is going to be almost $20,000. So when We Energy, like I said, it's going to take We Energy about 10 to 15 years to even catch up, and even to get the windmills and the farms for the windmills and the solar panels and things like that, into people homes. I mean, you can make some type of plan, We Energy, for people, homeowners that do want panels, to pay something monthly, to pay like 80 some dollars monthly, 90, 100 for the solar panels. And, once paid off, then it's paid off. But, you're wanting 15, $20,000 up front to put these solar panels on. It's, it's amazing how far Wisconsin is behind. Wisconsin really has to catch up. Now, I was in the transportation business, and I've seen those windmill farms. We'll drive on highways 35, 65. Your 35, it's not too far from here, and you keep going up, you'll see them windmills to the far right. Going 94, going to Minnesota. Going up there, you'll see a couple of windmills, farms. You'll see one or two, but they're here. They're here. If that means we have to buy the land and find a company that will put the windmills on the land, then we have to do that. If the community can get together and say we're going to buy this plot of land and we're going to put windmills up there. Now I don't know exactly understand or know how that works, but it'll be something to figure out. And for that gentleman that was here earlier that said his whole house electric and things, I would love for my house to be electric. So I would like more information on where he got his solar panels from. And I would love some rebates and things of that sort. So that'd be nice. We need to share this information with one another. So again, I would like to know exactly where this plant is going to be. And if I or if you can get us together again and walk through this plant, see how it's made, and get to know what's going on in the community instead of just putting something up. And like the man said, my house has cold everywhere. We don't want things like that. I'll be upset. Oh my goodness. I will have a big lawsuit against We Energy because I did not sign up to buy a house for that. You're destroying my property. My property is supposed to be free of anything of it. So you didn't know. I'm going to go deeper than just some car wash, whatever. No, you're going to pay me every time my dirt flies on my house. You're going to pay me a big check. Because you're messing with my quiet and peace. You're messing with that. So there's a cost to that. So I'm curious on where this plant is going to be. If we can get together, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you can get us together, those that are interested, walk us through the plant, see what's going on. Now, is there going to be some type of traffic of, like I said, I was in transportation. Are there going to be trucks? Like I said, I got to know more. What's in and out, what's going to be coming in and out the community, and what's going on within a community. Be honestly, they don't care about the children. They just don't. The only thing they care about is the dollar. Because they're going to always tell you, oh, we're working on something. Yeah, well, I don't see any progress. Like I said, I've been gone 23 years, and I come back, and Wisconsin is still the same. Remarkable, amazing. Still the same. You tell me you can't get solar panels on your house? I've seen this 20 years ago in Minnesota. Just the cow factory. Cow land. It's not cow land anymore. Minnesota is booming. you know,
Okay,
so
well, I really
it's a-
appreciate you chiming in here today. So thank you for making your comment with us.
okay, you're welcome. You have a good evening.
Yeah, take care.
And you too.
All right.
You got the nail across there.
What, are you finished with the in-person?
No, no, no. No, we have I don't know, and let's go off the record. So I don't know if we're gonna get to everybody, to be honest with you. I don't know how late we have the room, but it's not much more past 8 o'clock, so it's gonna be, I can check, but it's gonna take me a few minutes to do that, but they're gonna let me know if we're here too late. So yeah, I'm gonna go through, so that was 4 people online, I think. Well, we can switch over for a few more people in the room right now. But yeah, no, we still have a big pile of people to go. So, so let's see, Perry, it looks like Henzig, Bill, are you here, Perry? No, Bill Polachek, Cheryl Nen, I'm sorry, wait, hang on. So we had, Henzig, Polachek, and Nen. Yeah. Nen, okay, come on up. And then Rockwell and Carol, and Annie Carroll. All right, great. Okay, everything else working here. All right, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All
I
right,
will.
name and comment.
My name is Cheryl Nen. I'm with a group called Milwaukee Riverkeeper. Thanks for the opportunity to comment today. We're also here opposed to this new proposed power plant, natural gas plant, which is about 3,000 megawatts of energy, as well as the new liquid natural gas storage and associated pipelines. We're concerned that this build out will lock us into decades of fossil fuel use, increase greenhouse gases, and threaten our environment and our health. I think the elephant in the room here seems to be that, you know, taxpayers are being asked to pay for this energy. And it seems like the need is largely for, you know, profitable private data centers and companies. And so this is going to cost ratepayers a lot of money for decades, not only cost us in dollars, but cost us in health impacts, largely for the benefit of private companies like Microsoft. You know, We Energies has received a 13% rate increase in the last 2 years, and I know a lot of people in the city are still struggling with that. I myself have a very old leaky bungalow in Sherman Park, which is over 100 years old, and it's getting more and more expensive to heat my home. You know, we really need to invest in renewable energy and to invest in energies of the future. I don't really understand why. It seems like a lot of the demand for this plant is for these data centers. And so it's unclear why they're not being asked to fund solar or wind or geothermal or another way, you know, for their own energy use. My understanding is that Microsoft is funding renewable energy at a facility in Illinois that they're building for another data center. So in Wisconsin, it just seems like the Public Service Commission approves almost every one of We Energy's requests. And so they continue to ask more and more money for natural gas infrastructure and for coal plants. You know, as many have said, this costs the ratepayers a lot, and it has huge environmental impacts and health impacts. As others have said, we're still paying for a $2 billion plant that was completed in 2011. That's going to take us a long time to pay off. And now we're looking to put in several additional natural gas plants. Methane from natural gas is a really potent greenhouse gas. It has about 80 times more warming power than carbon dioxide. So it's very concerning that at this time where we already are seeing and feeling the impacts from climate change, that we're going to be, you know, basically approving additional natural gas infrastructure that's going to, you know, be a huge impact from a climate change perspective. You know, we do think that the Public Service Commission should analyze you know, this project kind of in a more cumulative way, you know, looking at Oak Creek, looking at the conversion of the Elm Road facility, looking at the LNG projects that are being planned, and including all of these as a new pollution source versus, you know, a minor modification to an existing plant in the case of Elm Road. You know, I think looking at all of these as a new source, it's very significant cumulative impacts to the environment and to the community and to the environment.
that I think make it very hard to justify at this time. You know, likely there'll be huge impacts on health, environment, costs. And so we think the PSC should reject We Energy's latest, you know, proposal to build any new methane plants or associated infrastructure. And then I would just say lastly, you know, this is locking us, you know, these new natural gas plants at this time are locking us into really antiquated energy source. That's not safe, reliable, or economical. And it seems like the chance of creating, you know, an antiquated plant, you know, stranding assets is very high here, you know, given how fast technology is changing in the energy sector and also with these data centers. So it just seems like we're overbuilding. And that could be, you know, something that we're going to pay, you know, really dearly for. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thanks so much. All right, so unfortunately, we have the rumors reserved until 8 and then the center shuts down. So they're gonna be asking us to leave soon. We still have to pack up, so we'll only be able to take comments for another 5 minutes or so. But what I can do is invite you all to file online, or if you probably won't have enough time to write your comment out and hand it to us, but I think probably the best thing to do is to file online. So the appearance slips, we still probably have plenty of these. So feel free to take one if you don't have one, and it's got the links and the QR codes to get you right to the comment page in each case. And I'll say that if you're going to be filing online, you want to file in both cases. So you want to file a comment in each docket. The deadline for the 317 case is March 27th, and the deadline for the 140 case is April 7th.
Do you have Donnell crossing that stuff?
Sorry, off the record, what? I'm sorry.
You have Donnell crossing that stuff?
The next.
Donnell cross in that stack?
In that stack, yes. I have a lot of people in there, yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
Can you hold another meeting because we'd like to speak in person?
I understand that. My schedule is booked solid, and we have so many cases right now. I won't be able to do this for weeks, and the case, at least in terms of the 317 case, the briefs will be in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accommodate another hearing. What I can tell you is that your comment will be read by the commission. So whether it's in the record and the transcript, or it's in writing on a comment that you file or mail to us, commissioners will read it and it'll be the same thing to them to read it and have it in writing. And they can only base their decision on the case with the written filings that I provide to them. So your comment will go to the commission whether you sat here and spoke or whether you submit it in writing. So I apologize, we were swamped with many people here, and I appreciate everyone's attendance and interest in this, but the schedule, we're really have many cases backed up in the.
Are y'all gonna
many
extend the
cases.
comment period? Because the comment period ends Thursday, right?
Yes, it does, yes.
So are you guys gonna extend that?
I don't know, I can't,
Who makes that decision?
I do. But I have to think about that, because the comment period's been open for weeks.
We thought we'd be able to speak here, and now we need time to get our comments in.
Okay.
A lot of the speakers have kept repeating the same points over and over again.
That's true.
Well, I don't, well, I mean, that's what people are here to make their comment. They make the comment they want to make.
Is that I have something ready to go right now that'll take me 3 minutes to do, which is.
Well, I know, but everyone has something. So
If folks can't talk here, it should be extended.
Okay.
If folks came to talk.
So
it
you'll,
should be extended.
okay, I get that. I get that. So
How do y'all know if everybody know how to use technology or read and write? That's not the issue.
21st century.
So it's like,
okay,
make it accessible, extend the deadline.
I can extend the deadline. That I can do. So
How long will you extend it for?
I gotta look at my calendar.
I mean, we'll get the feedback.
So
I really wish people could send in videos. That would make it much more accessible.
So let's get back on the record. So I can put I'll make both deadlines April 7th. So that you have the same deadline for both cases.
Thank you.
Okay, so just want to let you know, the initial brief in 317 is before this comment deadline is over. So when parties complain to me that the comments aren't all in before they write their first brief, I'm trying to, I have to kind of weed through all of these different issues. So there's a reason why the comment period is now after the brief deadline, because people wanted more time to file those comments. It's not, so please, just everyone has to live with these decisions. I can't make everyone happy. So, thank you. So April 7th for both cases. Okay?
Is there a way folks can send either audio or video?
No, I can't accept that. We can't save those things on our system. So, yeah, writing's the way we gotta do it. So sorry about that. Okay, so I think we're pretty much gonna have to close up now. So I appreciate everyone joining us, putting in all this time and effort to give a comment to us. Commissioners are here. Thank you for attending. And we'll get all your comments to the commission, whether you've spoken them or you filed them. Thanks very much. Okay, take care. We're adjourned.
Thank you.